can't tell anything on his eye at all.
So waiting for that one.
Today? That way today?
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Not yesterday. They started it early, though. They did BP, they did infield, outfield work before. And hello, Shaker Heights varsity baseball fans, and welcome in here to the Shaker Heights varsity baseball field where your Red Raiders will be taking on the Mustangs of Strongsville in the back half of rivalry games. They had their first game on the road on Monday. That was an 8-0 final with Strongsville winning at their home base, but now Shaker has the opportunity to retaliate. Now, last year when they were here, it wasn't a good story. It was a mercy rule by Strongsville. But today with Casey Robinson, the Shaker Heights ace on the mound, it could very well be a different story. Shaker Heights played a competitive game for a majority of that game against the Mustangs just on Monday. But they really fell out of it with Quinn Malone having a rough go on the mound, but also a lot of defensive errors for Shaker Heights, 8 in total, that resulted in only 1 run being earned for the Mustangs. So really, if we're going by earned runs, Shaker Heights only lost 1-0. But of course, runs will come by however they go, and Shaker Heights just needs to limit the defensive errors. And the big time thing is that they didn't have any practice yesterday. The game was rained out back here at home yesterday, so they moved that game one day further into today where both teams had the open window, but neither team was able to get the practice, or at least Shaker wasn't, due to the fact that those other facilities were used throughout the other athletic teams. Thank you very much for tuning in. Vaughn Ullum on the call. We'll be right with you here for the play-by-play. So for Shaker Heights, it's Casey Robinson on the mound again. As we said, their ace guy. The Red Raiders in the red caps, black jerseys, white pants. Someone didn't really get the memo from the jersey standpoint, at least not for Strongsville. This one lined and caught over in right field. The Red Raiders with a 1-pitch, 1-out to get things going with the fly out to right field. So Shaker Heights off to a solid start. Wesley Lewis in those first couple of innings against Strongsville came out. He pitched rather well, but then Quinn Malone came in and he had much more of a rough go from the defensive standpoint. Casey Robinson, a guy that Shaker Heights knows he can give them the edge, at least on defense. That one just narrowly missing. I suppose outside or a little bit too high. Robinson right now leading the team in innings pitched. That's 27 in total. Working an ERA of 2.6, which here, of course, at the high school level is really darn good. This next one, it's Both just missing up high as well. Same kind of pitch location. He's only walked 8, but he struck out 22. A very, very solid ratio in that regard. Next offering, same pitch location. Once again, not going to get that call. Only 10 earned runs off of 23 runs total, 34 hits. But the big issue, Casey Robinson right now has the 0-3 record just because the offense has not been able to get it going. That one called. Strike one on the outside half. On the 3-0 pitch, it turns 3-1. But yeah, Casey Robinson as a whole has pitched 6 games here during the regular season. This one popped up, and that's going to go out of play foul. Just narrowly missing the Strongsville City Schools school bus. But yeah, he had the full complete game against Solon. That was his first loss. Shaker Heights' offense couldn't get going. And then the last 2 starts for Casey, all the same story against Brunswick and Medina. And this one sent through the gap over to the left side. Neiman just unable to make the grab. So sneaking through a board over at first are the Mustangs. So Shaker Heights, of course, in a tied ball game with Thabata, the pitcher of the last game between these two. He's aboard at first. He originally, when he was pitching, he was back there at the 9-hole on the batting order. That first pitch right down Main Street, taken for strike one, as Becker is now your batter. Casey Robinson checks Thabata over at first. Here's the pitch. This one's sent foul over to the right side. Here, your first baseman is going to be Wesley Lewis for Shaker Heights. The reason being is Casey Robinson, of course, is on the mound, so he's not going to be occupying both positions. O'Shea Howard over there at second. Over at shortstop here today, Aaron Neiman, Malachi Kranz over at third to complete the infield. Get to the outfield in just a second after this 0-2 pitch. And here's the throw down from Braden White. Will it be there? No, he's safe over at second. Braden White today is instead your catcher, not your designated hitter, as we sometimes see. So what that means is Michael Coxon is instead your designated hitter. This next offering popped up. And it looks like that's going to just go out of play over to the right side. But with the designated hitter, we're getting him designated hitting for Wesley Lewis, who, as we said again, is over at first. So both Braden White and Michael Coxon going to get their chance. It's only Braden White in the field, however, today. Here's the pitch. And this one popped up once more. That's going to go out of play once more. So trying to make the grab out there, way out into foul territory and way away, is going to go foul. Attacking up was the Mustangs runner. Thabata, however, going to need to run on back. Great catch out of Eli Stolfus. You gotta credit him with the bolting out into deep foul territory, but yeah, as we said, it's just not going to work out. 0-0 your score. Runner in scoring position. It's Thabata over at second here with only one down, 1-2 pitch on its way here. And this one grounded over to first. Wesley Lewis going to handle it, no problem. Tap it on to first. It will advance Thabata up to third, but now 2 down. Casey Robinson off to a solid little start. Allowed 1 runner on off of a good base knock that snuck through past Aaron Neiman on the left side of the infield. Malachi Kranz didn't exactly have a shot at it either. So now it's Brady Eckert. Here's first pitch to him. That's going to catch on the outside half. Good pitch location out of Casey Robinson that time. With the movement late on that pitch, made Eckert feel that he wouldn't actually be able to hit it, but it just kept into the zone. And now this one gonna be taken in by O'Shea Howard. The throw on the first. The run will not count over at home as they get the force at first. So Shaker Heights able to limit damage to 0 here in the first inning. Shaker Heights offense with a good opportunity to take a lead early, but again, they were shut out last time. We'll see how this one goes out here in Shaker Heights, Ohio. Thanks for tuning in. Vaughn Ullum on the call. We'll be right back with you for the bottom of the first. Casey Robinson to lead things off against the Red Raiders here today. It's going to be Jerko, your pitcher. For Strongsville, a total of 8 1/3, RA of 0 through those just over 8 innings pitched. First one here to Casey Robinson, taken right down Broadway for strike number 1. Casey Robinson right now, really one of the better bats out. Raiders currently working with an average of 364. And I'll take that one off the mark. Only guy batting better than Casey Robinson right now is Braden White. And we'll see him in the order later on. And here a swing and a miss, foul tip back into the glove of today's catcher, we believe, Kuhar once again. Or no, this time it's Eckert. Out there in the field, however, it's going to be Farkas over at first, at second, Thabata at short, and then Glinski at third. This pitch sent right through those last two not middle infielders, the left infielders, as it'll sneak through right where Strongsville got their last hit. Casey Robinson follows suit, goes opposite field on the infield, and gets the leadoff man on for the Red Raiders. Again, your designated hitter in today's game, Michael Coxon, also batting very well, looking at a 283. Though it's slowed down a lot over the course of these last couple of weeks. Started off very cleanly, a long hitting streak to begin the season, but things kind of slowed down. Went hitless in that last game against Strongsville. This one fouled back over to the Strongsville dugout. Of course, 283 ain't too bad. And of course, it shouldn't be if you're looking at the Shaker Heights bats right now. If we're looking at average, that gets him 4th best on the team. Here, Casey Robinson with the good leadoff of first. Michael Coxon sends it that same way, and here's the running throw over to first, but Coxon will easily beat it out. Casey Robinson moves up 90 to second, and Shaker Heights is in business with 2 back-to-back singles over to the left side of the infield. One just snuck through, one was kept in, but it'll be kept as an infield single for Michael Coxon. Shaker Heights here, threatening early on. Aaron Neiman now digs in to the left-handed batter's box. Neiman, one of the guys Shaker needs to get going a little bit more out in the hitting standpoint. Right now batting .214, which of course isn't too awful compared to the remainder of the team, but Shaker Heights as a whole, their bats just have really struggled. Is this one caught? Indeed. Eckert catches it in foul territory. Once again, the bunt not going to work for Shaker Heights. They continue to have the issues from the bunting standpoint. And now one down with a runner on first and second. So now Braden White a lot of power behind the bat. We're going to need him to show some of that now if Shaker wants some early runs and an early lead. Here's the pitch to him. This one foul tipped back into the glove of Eckert. Just made that diving grab out into left foul territory. So as we said, Braden White, however, batting the best out of the Red Raiders, .404 average with 19 hits on 47 ABs. Here's the pickoff throw over to second. Brings Casey Robinson back in safely on a head-first dive. Looking at his OBP, it's at a .472, which is actually tied with Casey Robinson. Robinson has just had more walks comparatively. And Braden White lines this one out into right field. That's going to drop down. Robinson will be held up at third. They won't play it too aggressive as now it's going to be bases loaded with one away. 3 hits out of the Red Raiders except for one bunt from Aaron Neiman. That was just, once again, not the move out of the Red Raiders offense. So now Leo Pevnik going to dig in. Leo Pevnik worked his way into the 5 spot, moving in front of a guy like Malachi Krenz. He used to be. They tried to have him up in the 2 spot. Didn't work out for Shaker. Put Michael Cox in there, and that's really worked out for them. This pitch low and away. Pevnik right now, however, batting at a 179. Had a little streak of some hits in there with hits coming in 3 straight. There, that one's called for strike 1. But after that, he only has a hit against Perry, and that's been all. Get to see an extra base hit out of him, too. Got 4 RBIs to this point. This next pitch sent down over to the left side of the middle infield, and no struggle. That'll go as a defensive error. They're going to score 2 now out of the defensive error as Michael Coxon slides in. The second will get the call from the home plate umpire. You'll rule him safe. 2-0. Shaker Heights has the lead now with Malachi Kranz coming up to bat. We're already going to get time called out of the Strongsville coach, now talking to the umpire, but now he'll talk to the infield umpire, complaining about maybe some runner's interference. The umpire's, however, not going to rule it as such. Gonna have to sit back and now defend at a 2-run deficit. Shaker Heights in the lead with Malachi Kranz digging in now. So now the runner's on. It's going to be Leo Pevnik over at first after he reached on an error. And then over at second is now Braden White. RBI chance here for Kranz. Here's the pitch. And this one fouled into the the right side caging. Eli Stolfus was going to go grab it, as you can see on our screen. He's called off. One of the assistant coaches of Strongsville goes ahead and makes that play. Jerko right now already up to 13 pitches, 14 to be on its way. Here it comes. And this one catching on the outside half. Close pitch. Understand the take. And that moves it to a 1-1 even count. Still only 1 away here. Runner on first and second for the Red Raiders. Eli Stolfus would be up next if he gets the chance. Here's the pitch. Man, a swing and a miss. That was strike 3. They don't give the drop third strike with the runners on, and Malachi Kranz goes down swinging as out number 2. So Eli Stolfus with another RBI chance. Pevnik at first, reached on an error, got a couple of RBI. Braden White taking a healthy lead off of second. And eventually we'll get the delivery. This one popped up. We'll see who calls it for it. It's the first baseman who makes the running grab in front of the pitcher's mound, makes that grab for out number 3. So Shaker Heights leaves 2 men on, but they score 2. They're in the lead 2-0 with those runs coming out of Casey Robinson and Michael Coxon. 3 hits already for the Red Raiders. They're leading in that category 3-1. We'll see if they can keep it that way with Casey Robinson coming back out to pitch. Thank you very much for tuning in. Vaughn Ullum on the call. We'll be back with you for the top of the second. Casey Robinson back out, pitching here for the Red Raiders. As we said, entering in with a 2.6 ERA. That one is right there for the taking, but it's held back here by number 22, Kuar. He was behind the dish in that last game against Strongsville, back in Strongsville. But for this one, he's your DH. Same kind of story we're seeing out of Shaker Heights as they bounce between DHs being their 2 catchers. It looks like that might be the same story out for Strongsville because, as we said, that last game's catcher is now their DH. Here's the 0-2. Oh, he called that earlier. Can't lie about it, but that one going to be ruled as ball 1 here on the outside half. Nobody out just yet. We're just getting things started. Shaker Heights here in the top of the second, trying to defend the 2-0 lead. This one grounded over to the left side. Aaron Neiman going to scoop it up on the hop. And that throw just there. Good throw across the diamond out of the sophomore Aaron Neiman. He'll go as out number 1. And Kuhar, your designated hitter, will not get the hit. He's retired. Payne and Glinsky do it behind him. Payne digging in here. He's a right fielder for Strongsville today. Robinson yet to get a K. He's typically decent at racking up some strikeouts, though right now he's working more for contact. This one lined out into left field. That one's going to get down just past Leo Pevnik. He'll throw it in quickly to avoid any sort of advancement to second. And Payne is aboard with a 1-out single for the Mustangs, trying to threaten early here, take this lead out of proportion for Shaker. It's now 2 hits for Strongsville. First one coming out of Thabata, now out of Payne. And the third baseman, Glinsky, now coming in here. Lefty-righty matchup to the advantage of a batter. That one going to be in there for strike 1. As we said earlier, a lot of black jerseys out here. Someone didn't get the memo on the uniform and nothing but white pants. We don't get any gray road pants. Here the pickoff throw over at first, not going to be there. Payne back in safely. 0-1 the count here to Glinsky. Payne taking that lead off of first. We won't get a pickoff throw again. We'll get the swing and a miss out of Glinsky for strike number 2. Be a big-time deal for Robinson to get his first K after allowing the hit and the base runner, taking that lead again off of first. Robinson does a double take, and now here the pickoff throw. Brings Payne back in safely. Clean little pickoff throw. Payne retaking that lead. This time we'll get the pitch delivery as this one, misses down low. That was a good pitch to hit. Glinsky holds up, and it's going to work out for him as that's your first ball of the count. 1-2. Here's that next offering up high. Now Glinsky evens it up. Robinson threw 24 pitches of his 24. It's only been 7 missing, 17 of them going as strikes. Here Casey Robinson will not offer the pickoff. This one going to bring Braden White outside the zone to make that grab. And that brings us to our first countdown of the day. 3 balls, 2 strikes with 1 out. Here with 1 runner on, it's Payne. He taking his lead off of first. Casey Robinson here on the payoff pitch. This is going to be cut on, fouled over to the right side. And you could hear that. That hit off of something, more than likely a car. If not, that is a very hollow tree. Glinsky fighting now. 7th pitch of the AB here to come. Here it is. And this one skied out in the left field. Getting under it there is Silver. He'll make the throw back in as Payne bolts back to first. There's out number 2. 1 runner on is still Payne. And it might be painful for him if Farkas is unable to get anything going. He was aboard with only 1 out. That's a big time out there for Casey Robinson. Good power out of Glinsky's contact. Worked Jeremy Silver far back in front of the wall. And this one going to escape out from Braden White. But already on the run was Payne, so he'll take second, no problem. Still 2 down. Farkas, your batter. And now this next one going to be off the mark as well. Braden White delivers this one right back here. Farkas right now batting with an average, if we're including scrimmage, at .312. If we're not, this one off the plate as well. The throw to second is going to escape out into shallow center. The quick throw in from Pevnik will not be in time. It'll bounce out in front of Malachi Kranz. Luckily, he's able to keep it in front of him. Still 2 down, but corner to corner goes Payne on a couple of mistakes. That's 2 defensive mistakes out of the Red Raiders here. Farkas batting .358, but he'll take this one as ball 4. And now it'll be runners at the corners. Runners at the corners, 2 down. Casey Robinson, 30 pitches, 31 on its way, and that'll catch on the outside half. He didn't call that earlier in the inning. He called that before that. So maybe just a little bit more inconsistent on that outside half. Casey Robinson right now with 19 strikes after that one. Or excuse me, 20. As now it's 32 pitches. Here trying to call a late time was LePage, but he'll get the pitch delivered, and he'll swing and miss for strike number 2. 2 down here. Now 1 more strike for Casey Robinson to get out of this one. LePage not getting time. This time he won't call for time at all. Casey Robinson with a check over at first, and now the pitch delivery is this one skied up Wesley Lewis with room out there in foul territory to the right side. He'll make the grab there for out number 3, and Shaker Heights will survive with still no runs coming across for the Mustangs. One more hit for Strongsville and a walk leaves 2 runners on. The Red Raiders trying to build on a 2-run lead when we come back for the bottom of the second. Vaughn Ullum on the call. We'll be back. Three hits out of the Red Raiders here today from each Casey Robinson, Michael Coxon, and Braden White, but we still got 2 more here at the bottom of the order. Jeremy Silver and O'Shea Howard do up. Then we go back to the top for Casey Robinson. Here's the pitch. Jeremy Silver takes this on the outside half, ruled as strike number 1. Jeremy Silver right now still struggling to find momentum on offense. He's doing well on the defensive side. That one just missing. Silver batting .050 with only 1 hit through his 20 ABs. The good thing to note, though, is that single came recently. This one flown out into right field. The catch is made there. And out number 1 is acquired here in the bottom of the second. Catch made by Payne, who was almost that runner to come in and score earlier on in the top of the second. But, yeah, he got held off by a good foul territory out. Catch was made by Wesley Lewis. Again, Wesley Lewis, the guy being designated hit for today. They wanted Casey Robinson, today's pitcher for Shaker, to continue to hit, considering he's one of those better hitters. This one ruled in there on the lower half. Jerko to 20 pitches. Of his first 20, we're seeing 17 strikes, given a lot of pitches to hit. This one fouled back on the on-away grass behind home plate and across the street. Yeah, 20 pitches, 17 strikes. I mean, that is a great ratio. Now 21 to 18. He's given the Red Raiders a lot of pitches to hit, and that's exactly why they've got so many hits. This one way outside, tried to get him chasing with it on the 0-2. Now turns to 1-2. O'Shea Howard, another one of those guys struggling to get the base knocks. He right now is batting .091 with 2 hits through 22 ABs. That's going to catch on the outside corner. O'Shea Howard goes down looking. And so now Casey Robinson, representing the top of the order, digs back into the left-handed batter's box. Robinson with a hit to start things off for the Red Raiders there in the bottom of the first. Later came around to score. Michael Coxon, who followed suit, would be due up behind him. First pitch to Robinson, going to be in there on the lower outside corner. Umpire showing a little bit more of a wider strike zone. Maybe a little bit taller as well. Here's the 0-1. Casey Robinson cuts at this one, fouls it back over to the left side. 0-2 hold now to today's pitcher. Casey Robinson awaits, gets the kick and the delivery, and this one's up high. Good pitch location. Just narrowly missing upstairs. Casey Robinson with him good pitch discipline, holds back. And eventually we'll get that 1-2 from Jerko, and this one taken. Missing outside, I suppose. That wasn't too high. And that'll go 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down, 2-0 the score. Shaker Heights in the lead in the bottom of inning number 2. A lot of 2s up on the board. Same pitch location. Once again, will not get the call outside. Now he's calling it a lot more narrow. Full count with 2 down now to Robinson. Singled his first time up. Will earn the payoff pitch. Here it comes. He'll take that one again. Same pitch location. 3 straight times will not get the call. At least he's being consistent through the AB, this umpire, and Casey Robinson will be aboard on a 2-out walk. He'll reach both his 2 times up to the plate. We'll see if Coxon can follow up. He singled his first time up with an infield single. Later, as we said, came around to score. Those are your 2 runs over at first and now at home plate. Here's the first pitch to him in tight. The guy behind Michael Coxon really didn't get his opportunity. He did, and foul tipped out. Next pitch for Michael Coxon sent over to short, and the quick flip on the second to get that force out for out number 3 here in the bottom of the second. So the Red Raiders still do have that lead. It's 2-0, unable to build upon it here in the bottom of the second. We go to the top of the third when the Mustangs are up to bat when we come back. We're back with you here for the top of the third inning. Casey Robinson back out on the mound right now, pitching 34, 22 of which have been strikes. Not a perfect ratio. Not as good a ratio that we saw out of Jerko, but just about similar. Casey Robinson right now allowing 2 hits. So 1 per inning. This one in tight as well. 2-0 goes your count. Kelly, your leadoff guy here, Murphy Kelly. The son of the nice lady in the press box when we were out there in Strongsville. Kelly was making some good grabs out in center. He's back over at center here today. And now the 2-1. This one fouled back into the caging over near the Red Raider bleacher. A lot of fans on both sides. Pretty much even, though we do have a collection of parents standing on behind us. That works it even. 2 balls, 2 strikes here to Murphy Kelly. And that pitch, ooh, outside. This umpire's cleaned up that strike zone a lot here. That next pitch will get the swing and miss. Casey Robinson able to retire the first guy on 6 pitches, gets his first strikeout of the game. and starts off the leadoff guy 0 for 2 to begin his day. Now Thabata has started off with a single of his own. We'll see how he can counter here. First pitch here to Thabata is popped up. Will this one stay in play? No, it'll just escape out to the grass. Excuse us, Casey Robinson. It's going to be the head coach of the Mustangs, going to go ahead and grab it. Now works Thabata in a 0-2 hole here with one down. And this next pitch in tight. Tried to get him chasing on something that got him jammed, but again, doesn't pull the trigger. Now we're seeing a couple of alumni in here of the Shaker baseball program. Seeing guys like Quentin Garnett and Will Berglund up here in the Red Raider bleachers. Good to see him. Those were some big offensive producers. With the way Shaker Heights has struggled to get some offense going, they would love to have guys like Garnett and Berglund back in the order. Unfortunately, just not how it works. This one tapped down the third base line. It'll go foul. We'll do it again at a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Casey Robinson working a decently high pitch count, but it's nothing too crazy. Right now to 45 pitches. This next one outside. Or excuse me, that's 47. The Mustangs, with that last one on Monday, got their double digit up to what is now 10. Shaker Heights going to be struggling to find those next couple, and here he'll get the called strike 3 on the inside half. Thabata did not agree with it as he was making his way down to the first base, but umpire gives him that late ring up, and Thabata there is the victim of a strikeout. Now back-to-back from Casey Robinson. Here to start things off in the top of the third. This next one popped up. That's going to go in play into shallow left field. Neiman getting under it, making the grab out in the shallow left field dirt. So Shaker Heights with a couple of good outs. 1, 2, 3. Down go the Mustangs from Kelly, Thabata, and Beck. 3 guys retired. Good stuff out of Robinson. Here in the top of the third. We'll go back to the bottom of the third when we come back. Thanks for tuning in. Vaughn Ullum on the call. Neiman, White, and Pevnik are the guys due up. Aaron Neiman due up here to start things off in the bottom of the third. Unsuccessful bunt for him to start things off there in the first. This one up high and away for ball 1. Shaker Heights right now still up 2-0 out of a good pitching performance from Casey Robinson. Shaker could just use some more offensive insurance. This one going foul and over to the trees to the left of the third base line. Red Raiders didn't score any in that Monday game. Lost 8-0, but Aaron Neiman here with a blast that will just have too much height on it. And it'll be caught here by Kelly out in center. Easy routine grab. Braden White now digs in. He's 1 for 1 to start off. Up. However, was left on base over at second. But yeah, he kept the offense rolling for the Red Raiders. I think got the bases loaded. That was him. And this one skied up once again out into shallow right, making the overhead grab. If he had fallen down, that would have been very similar to the Odell Beckham Jr. catch for the New York Giants way back when. Not way back when, but you get what I mean. But regardless, the out is made. Out number 2. Quick out. There goes Braden White jogging his way back over to the Red Raider dugout. Leo Pevnik now going to dig in. First pitch to today's center fielder is in there. First strike 1. Leo Pevnik still taking over for Nate Landever out in center. Today, Landever is back. He's over in the dugout. He's just not playing for the Red Raiders just yet. So the sophomore awaiting here an 0-1 delivery. That's going to be way in tight. If he hadn't backed up out of that one, that would have definitely made contact with the torso. But he holds off, backs away for ball 1. 1-1 even count here. 2 down to Leo Pevnik, who starts off his day 0 for 1, though he reached on error his first time up. Pevnik again struggling to get that bat going. Today, if he could get a good base knock, it'll be a big-time deal. This one back over to the shortstop, and that's where the error was made last time. But this time, Thabata not going to make that defensive error. He'll make the running throw on the first. Farkas makes the catch at first. Casey Robinson coming back out to the mound when we come back as we go to the middle inning number 4. Shaker Heights up 2-0 as we head into that middle inning. We're right back with you here for the top of the 4th inning. Shaker Heights trying to defend now a 2-0 lead. This one catching right down Main Street. Had a good late break to it that went down low. Shaker Heights lost that first game against the Mustangs 8-0. Right now in a good spot as they lead with Casey Robinson still out on the mound. His 50th pitch of the day is on its way. That'll be 2 in tight here on Eckert, who's 0 for 1 to start things out at the plate. 2 Ks for Casey Robinson. Those were back-to-back Ks. They're in the top of the 3rd. This one grounded over to left side. Aaron Neiman makes the defensive error. It'll sneak right through the 5-hole, work its way out into shallow left center, and aboard here will be Eckert. He'll start his day off 0 for 2, but he'll reach once. Now for the Red Raiders, 1 from Neiman, 1 from Braden White behind the dish. And now leadoff man on. Got to worry now. for the Red Raiders. Hopefully Casey Robinson can treat it as any other situation. Here's the lefty dealing, and this one sent out into center, left center, making the grab. On the move to his right is Nick. He'll make that catch for out number 1. It'll leave Eckert over there at first. A good first out that time, a 1-pitch, 1-out situation for Casey Robinson. Trying to now build back into a rhythm after that last defensive error from Aaron Neiman. Neiman with a couple of mistakes early on, had the faulty bunt that led into an out. Now there with a defensive error, can't let that get into his head. This pitch skied up over to the right side. I'll go foul. And perhaps that was more over our head. I believe that went over close to the back top of the Onaway School building. Regardless, it'll be strike 1 here. The pickoff throw on the first brings Eckert back in safely. Here, Payne got on earlier. He was left on third earlier in the game here. Braden White, difficulty on the transfer, isn't able to make that throw in quick enough fashion to second, so Eckert will reach safely into scoring position. Top of the 4th, Shaker Heights still up 2-0. Looking to do some more damage on offense, though it has slowed for the last couple of innings. And next offering here, gonna run into number 7, Johnny Payne, gonna hit in the numbers. And he'll make his jog on the first as he is now aboard. Runner on first and second for the Mustangs with only 1 away. Double play would be in order. Shaker Heights, however, hasn't turned that play too much. Payne on first, Eckert over at second. Glinski starts off his day 0 for 1 at the plate. First pitch to him on the new AB is in there for strike 1. Casey Robinson could use a good old K right here. We'll see if it happens. Tying runs are on as this one's fouled back over to the Onaway side. And now we'll get the move to play ball once more. Casey Robinson to 56 pitches now, 57 to be on its way. And, oh, Jones didn't get the call. That one looked right where it had to be. But umpire rules it as ball 1. On the 0-2 pitch, it'll turn to 1-2. Casey Robinson's 58th. Casey Robinson with a late delivery, and this one fouled back over to the right side once more. Into the green grass to the right of the first base line. We've seen Wesley Lewis make the foul catch grab. We also saw Eli Stolfus bolting way out of play to make that foul territory grab. It didn't count, but you got to respect the effort. 2-0 Shaker in the lead. Tying runs are on at first and second. This pitch outside taken for ball 2. Evens up the count. Two here, 1 down, 2 one down low, works it to a countdown. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Here to Glinski, 1 more ball. The bases would be loaded with only 1 out. Can't let Robinson get rattled here in the middle inning. Casey Robinson going to take a step off. It'll bring Payne back over to first and Eckert back over to second. Only 1 away. Full count, 1 away. Here's that payoff pitch. This one rocketed in O'Shea Howard's glove. He'll make the throw on a second, but it'll sneak out in the left field. Jeremy Silvers there to not allow an advancement, but there's out number 2. O'Shea Howard made the good grab. Unfortunately, just not the good throw. Would have been in time, but just not there on target. 2-0 and the runners remain at first and second. This one's skied up, still kept in on the infield. No, it's just going to escape out in the center, but making the grab there. Aaron Neiman, the shortstop, ranging over to the right of second base, and Shaker Heights maintains their lead. It's 2-0 as we're halfway through this one. We go to the bottom of the fourth when we come back. Shaker Heights back up to bat now with Malachi Cranes digging in. Eli Stolfus and Jeremy Silver due up behind him. Senior, junior, sophomore due up here. Will get younger as the order goes. But then if O'Shea Howard were to get his chance, of course that's a senior. He's in the 9 spot, but here's 6, 7, 8 due up. Here's first pitch to number 6. But number 15 on the back of the jersey, that pitch going to be outside and low for ball 1. Malachi Cranes now takes a hack at this next one. A little curl foul off to the left side of the third baseline. Bottom of the fourth, Shaker Heights still up 2-0 off of 2 back-to-back runs coming in by Casey Robinson and Michael Coxon there in the first. Since then, nothing but zeros thrown up to the board. Malachi Cranes goes fishing for one outside. Malachi Cranes went down swinging his first time up. First strikeout victim of the day for either side. And now that 1-1 pitch will escape out of the grasp of Eckert. Work its way over to the Strongsville dugout side, but it'll just go as ball 2. Or excuse me. No, it's 1-2. Never mind me. And now that 1-2. Try to get that same pitch location going outside low. Making Eckert get a little dirty there in the dirt behind home plate, but again, doesn't exactly matter. No runners are going to be put into motion because there's no runners on here. Excuse me, this full count. Maybe that's the case, but this one hacked that, sent over to the third baseman. Galinsky throw across the diamond is there, and in time, Malachi Cranes starts his day off 0-2. Get a little of appreciation out of assistant coach Joe Welch. Eli Stolfus, number 6 on the jersey, number 7 in the order. Here, Eli Stolfus begins his day 0-1 as well. One of the better bats on Shaker Heights this year, but he's right there on the Mendoza line at 200. This one outside on Eli Stolfus. Eli Stolfus Everything going. Hasn't had a big time base hit in what feels like a minute, and this one sent right over to the third baseman. Galinsky will make the out. Didn't even have to make the throw on to first as he'll kneel down, make the grab through the glove. And there you go. Eli Stolfus starts his day off 1 for 2 as well. Jeremy Silver, though, we'll see if he can change things up. He's 0 for 1 to start things off. The sophomore coming up. Jerko's 48th is sent foul over to the left side, narrowly avoiding the car as it'll bounce its way over to the tennis courts. Shaker Heights here today had their game pushed back. Don't believe any tennis matches going here today. Guess they're not even having a practice. It's completely empty over there to the left side. That pitch can miss the same location, up and away. 2-1 to start things off. Jerko's pitch. Swing and a miss. Good motion on that one. Right down the middle to low and in tight. And Jeremy Silver fooled. Evened up, 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2-0 score. Shaker in the lead. And Jeremy Silver takes this. Ooh! Didn't look like that crossed over the plate, but he'll get rung up on strike 3. And a called K will end things off here for the bottom of the 4th. So as we go, you know how we do this. After 4 innings, we go back to the front of the camera. Shaker Heights here today is right now winning this one 2-0, and right now they're leading in hits, which is the rare occurrence for the Red Raiders. Granted, on the defensive side, there are still some things they got to work out. 2 defensive errors through these first 4 innings, but Shaker Heights as a whole has played a much cleaner game, and the reason being we can credit it all to the guy on the mound, and that's Casey Robinson out there in the red cap and black jersey. Shaker Heights, their starting pitcher, Casey Robinson, entering into today with a 2.6 ERA. Right now has not let a single run through. But again, he's let in 2 hits. He's walked 1, but that's it. There was 1 troublesome inning, and it was a couple innings ago, but he kept it settled down. He was calm, cool, and collected, and let the Mustangs get themselves out of the jam that they created for the Shaker defense. So Shaker Heights coming into these last couple of innings need to remain confident, though not a whole lot of offense has been produced. It's up to the Red Raiders to try and get that offense going a little bit further in the final stages, because if not, then the Mustangs will have every opportunity to come back till the very end. We'll see what the Red Raiders can do on offense, but for now, it's time for them to defend that 2-run lead as Casey Robinson's back out to the mound, and the Shaker defense will be protecting. Thanks for joining. Shaker Heights to this point has had 3 hits, Strongsville with 2. Defensive error for Strongsville, but 2 for Shaker. Much better than 8 coming through in that last game in Strongsville. Bunt, it's going to go foul tipped into the caging to the right of home plate. Here, Braden White catching the balls and strikes here today. Has one of those 2. Aaron Neiman over the left side of the middle infield. And here's the pitch from Robinson. Outside, taken for ball 1. Not sure why. It was LePage showing bunt in that first time through. Work out, however. And this next pitch from Robinson is sent through. Malachi Cran's going for the dive. Neiman will collect, but that throw not going to be anywhere in time, as LePage will be aboard with an infield single. Malachi Cran's trying to get the jersey dirty and make that play. Of them are going to be able to finish it through. The Red Raiders right now up by 2, but the leadoff man on here for Strongsville here in the top of the 5th. 2-0 your score, with the Red Raiders in a rare lead, getting that lead early on. But they've got to settle it down. They got to lock down. This one bunted right into the caging. Foul once again. Neither squad having any success on the bunt to this point. Excuse me if you can hear the Basset Hound here next to us. That's our dog. Shout out Buckeye. Right now 2-0 with the Red Raiders whenever he's in attendance. 3-0 if we're counting softball. And hopefully that record will turn to 4-0 right here if Casey Robinson is able to lock things up here on the defensive side. Right now it's to 67 pitches, an 0-2 spot here for Murphy Kelly. The pitch, swing and a miss, got him. He'll start off 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts as Murphy Kelly takes the lazy walk back over to the Strongsville dugout. He'll slam the helmet down in that dugout. As that is not a happy man over there in that dugout. Tabata 1 for 2 to start things off. That first pitch low, taken for ball 1. LePage aboard over at first. He got the infield single. As he was the leadoff man, it was a big-time strikeout there for Robinson. This next one grounded over to left side. Malachi Kranz going for the force at second. O'Shea Howard will not make the throw on the first. He'll hold it. As they get the force, it'll go as out number 2 here in the top of the 5th. Both squads tied with 3 hits now. It was Tabata getting on with a fielder's choice. He'll go 1 for 3 now. Shaker up 2-0. It's looking like if Casey Robinson's able to settle it down, they'll maintain this lead going into the bottom of the 5th. Robinson with the pickoff throw over at first. Back in safely there is LePage. Excuse me, Tabata now. Shaker Heights baseball is now in their back half of the GCC rivalry games against Strongsville. Softball went 1-0 against them. They have their next game on Monday, and unless Shaker Heights makes a reschedule to Monday, we're going to be calling that softball game on Monday between Shaker Heights and Strongsville. I believe that game would be out in Strongsville. We can hear the announcements of the track meet out there in left field. Of course, out in left is the Russell H. Rupp Stadium. If a home run gets out there, that'll interrupt the track meet. I've seen that happen a couple of times out of guys like Will Berglund, Braden White, trying to disrupt those athletic events. Here a 2-1 count with 2 away to Becker. Becker skies this one foul over to the left side. That'll go foul. Just on top of the netting of the batting cage. Robinson to 74, his 3/4 century mark to be delivered in just a second here. Casey Robinson here with his 21st batter faced. On the other side, Jerko has only faced 17. It's been a couple of longer innings for Casey Robinson, but he's able to get things done. As this one's once again skied up. And just to the left of the mound, Aaron Neiman works his way in, makes that grab on the jog up and through 4.5. Shaker Heights maintains that 2-0 lead with a great pitching performance out of Casey Robinson. We go to the bottom of the 5th where Shaker Heights will try to extend that lead. As we said, get some more insurance so they can take the Mustangs out of it earlier than they want. We'll be back with you, Vaughn Ullum, on the call. Isaac Lazar, the freshman, digging in here to the right-handed batter's box. He'll take strike one on the outside half to begin things. Isaac Lazar here pinch hitting for O'Shea Howard, who was 0 for 1 with a strikeout, a called strike 3 on him. Played rather solid defensively, so with Isaac Lazar coming in, you would imagine he moves over to third and Kranz would switch over to second. Isaac Lazar typically not the middle infielder, though we never know, but that would make the most sense. Here's the next offering, this one outside, easy taking there for Isaac Lazar. And here's that 1-2. This one popped foul over to the left side. We'll do it again. Now 1 ball, 2 strikes. Umpire says he's out of baseballs. We'll get a couple delivered to him eventually. And we get that delivered here. Isaac Lazar in a 1-2 spot here. Next pitch here from Jerko. Sent over to the left side. Third baseman Glinsky handles the throw across the diamond. Is there. Lazar goes down as out number 1 here in the bottom of the 5th. Casey Robinson and Michael Coxon due up behind him. Those are your 2 runs of the ball game. Casey Robinson right now 1 for 1 with a walk and a run to the name. Here's that first pitch of the new AB to Casey Robinson. It's fouled back into the near to bleacher caging. Jerko to now 8 pitches of his 58. It's been 40 going as strikes. Of course, 18 not, but that is a good ratio out of any high school pitcher. This Casey Robinson, on the other hand, has gone 75 pitches, 48 of them going as strikes, which means, what is that, 27 of them going for balls. This next pitch outside as well taken. Two balls now to Casey Robinson as he watches that one outside. This next offering up and away as well. Three balls now to the junior. One down. This pitch is going to be outside and away as well. Casey Robinson walks twice now, back-to-back plate appearances for Casey Robinson, draws him aboard. Though we did get that hit the first time, so actually he's reached all 3 times now for Shaker Heights. And with one away, he is aboard at first. But it looks like here we're going to get the pitching change for the Mustangs. We're going to step aside for just a moment. 1 out here with a runner on first in the bottom of the 5th. Shaker Heights lead 2-0. Only 63 pitches out of Jerko, 23 going for strikes. But with one man aboard and one away here in the bottom of the fifth, they bring out a new arm, and that's Jonathan Payne, number 7. His first pitch is up high on Michael Coxon. Michael Coxon, the first guy to face him. Payne, right now with an ERA of 1.7, a beauty of an ERA here at the high school level. He's played 6 games in 12 and 1/3 inning. That one right down Main Street taken by Michael Coxon. Again, the back half of the only 2 runs of the ball game. But yet Jonathan Payne with his 12 and 1/3 innings pitched, that earns him 4th most on the squad. This one down low on Coxon, which is actually more than Jerko. And we were worried about Jerko because he had pitched 8 and 1/3 with an ERA of 0. But higher ERA, but also more innings pitched out of Payne. Here Michael Coxon starts off his day 1 for 2. Here's the pitch. That's going to be outside. Good hold out of Michael Coxon. Good movement off the pitch of Jonathan Payne. It'll just work its way out. And a 3-1 spot here to Michael Coxon. One for 2 is Coxon, but on the other side, a swing and a miss. Works it to count down. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Payoff pitch to be on its way. On the other side, Casey Robinson, who's aboard over at first, he's 1 for 1 with 2 walks in a run. He's had himself a day up at the plate. Very disciplined appearance. And here, bolting for it is Casey Robinson. But now as this one has popped up over to the right side, that's going to escape out of play. So we'll do it again at 3-2. Coxon fighting now. 6 pitches here in the AB. 7 will be on its way. Aaron Neiman due up behind Michael Coxon. The 1 out coming from Isaac Lazar, who comes in as the pinch hitter for O'Shea Howard. Here in the bottom of the 5th, 2-0 lead. Shaker on top. This one a swing and a miss for Michael Coxon. The throw on the second. And Casey Robinson going to be there as the throw nearly pulled off LePage from the bag, but the tag will not be there. So Casey Robinson in scoring position, but now 2 down after the K. Aaron Neiman with an RBI chance. Here in the bottom of the 5th, it'd be a big-time hit out of Aaron Neiman if he can get it. But he's 0 for 2 with a faulty bunt, and then I believe what was a fly out. He's done well defensively to this point, though he does have a defensive error. Here, a swing and a miss. Aaron Neiman as a shortstop, it's really rather large for an underclassman to get that spot as a start at shortstop. This one in tight on Aaron Neiman. Had to kick the legs up to avoid the baseball making contact. But Aaron Neiman, I mean, as a sophomore coming into the shortstop position, that's just a big-time deal, and a lot in from the coaches, because that's the spot where it just seems a little trickier. This one blasted out in the right field, but making the catch on the line is Jerko, your former Mustang pitcher, and he'll make that grab there for out number 3. So we're through 5 now. 2-0 remains your score, as it's been for now the last 4 innings. We'll see if the Mustangs can finally break their scoreless streak here in the top of the 6th. When we come back, it's 2-0. Shaker Heights on top. Shaker Heights has allowed Strongsville to stay in this ball game, only down by 2 throughout the last 4 innings. But now Strongsville is down to their final 6 outs, so it's do or die time for the Mustangs, while the Red Raiders still hold on to their lead. It's 2-0. Casey Robinson, one of those runs for Shaker Heights. Back out to the mound. He's through, let me double check on this. Yes, 77 pitches to this point, 49 strikes. Good pitch count as he's still got 2 more to go. And here's the first pitch here to Brady Eckert. It is fouled back into the near side caging. Strike 1 here to Eckert. Casey Robinson hasn't needed any relief. Don't know who it would be needed any relief, because Casey Robinson has done rather well that I'm not even sure they've considered that. This one's sent over to the third base side. It'll bounce off of the glove here of Malachi Cranston. Into shallow left it goes. And so with that leadoff man aboard, just as, however, the top of the 5th went that way, leadoff man was on, but Casey Robinson was able to get out of it. Granted, we saw him last year only as a sophomore work out of a bases loaded no-out jam. Talented pitcher out there on the mound. Next year, his senior year, could be absolutely lethal. Unfortunately, we just won't be there to call it. And here a bunt showing. Casey Robinson, or Braden White making the grab. Throwing on the first. Wesley Lewis is there. And there's out number 1. Clean little bunt out. Shaker Heights sometimes can struggle on those bunts. Just maybe a mentality thing. But they make it happen. But the runner goes to scoring position as Eckert is now to second. He'll take his lead. Casey Robinson now back into the caging. Strike 1 here to Payne, who's 1 for 1 on the day. And here's that pitch from Robinson, eventually delivered up and away. Moves it even. 1 ball, 1 strike. Robinson now to 80 pitches. Of the 80 pitches, we're looking at 52 strikes. And now Braden White has the opportunity on the throw to third, but he's going to be in safely head first as Eckert moves his way to third. Casey Robinson not hitting on his pitches. Granted, a lot of talk out of the Mustangs dugout. And here's that pitch. This one blasted out into center. This should be caught by Leo Pevnik, and indeed it is. They'll tag the runner here as Wesley Lewis. The throw home will not go. And the run comes in to score, so it's 2-1 now. Shaker Heights still in the lead. Now 4 outs to give. Bases are empty, however, with 2 down. So now it'll be tying run still at the plate. Here's the pitch. Ooh, that'll catch. Good pitch. Looked like it was going to be in tight. Worked its right over the plate and catching there. Now here Casey Robinson on the delivery. Gets a swing and miss. So the Strongsville dugout shenanigans not working here later into this one. As Casey Robinson just continues to play his game. I don't know what the Strongsville dugout continues to do. They continue to count down on Casey Robinson. And now here's the pitch. This one down low. It's going to skip away from Braden White, but no runners on. From 0-2 to 1-2. Casey Robinson a strike away from getting out of the top of the 6th. Keep in mind, Shaker Heights still in the lead by 1. It's been a very tight ball game all throughout. Robinson to 85, 86 to be on its way. Here it is. Fouled back. Into the caging once more. Braden White to go ahead and grab it. Deliver this back over to Robinson. Robinson could use a big-time strikeout to bring his offense back up with the momentum. This has been a quicker game, though. I mean, this has been a very, very quick game. We've gone through this one. Not a whole lot of scoring. Again, only in the bottom of the 1st did Robinson and Coxon come through for Shaker, and then that one run for Strongsville coming just mere moments ago. This one fouled back and to the on-away blacktop. Here, Shaker Heights knows they can beat this team, and that's what was so aggravating about that loss on Monday. They lost 8-0 due to a shaky pitching performance from Malone, and then just a heck of a lot of defensive errors. Here called, strike 3 on Glinsky, watched it blow on by. And that's out number 3 here in the top of the 6th. Big time K for the Red Raiders, and now they're only up here in the bottom of the 6th. We go Shaker Heights up 2-1. They could use some insurance. We'll see if they can get any when we come back. Vaughn Ullum on the call. We're back with you here. Braden White watches one sail up and away for ball 1. Due up here, Braden White, Leo Pevnik, Malachi Kranz, the middle of the order in 4, 5, 6. Braden White 1 for 2, but the other 2 guys 0 for 2, though Leo Pevnik has an RBI as he reached the first time on a defensive error. There, a swing and a miss from Braden White, evens it up, 1 ball, 1 strike. Right now, the box score once again will show that Strongsville leads in hits. And here, Braden White going to leave this one. If we go to the Strongsville box score, and that will show, give me 1 second. That's going to show that Strongsville has the lead in hits still, but it's 5-4 instead of 4-3. Here's this next offering. Oh, that is a close pitch taken by Braden White. This is going to be a tough pitch. Out of pain. Again, a relief man here for the Mustangs. He'll leave this one for ball 4, and Braden White is aboard. And as the leadoff man, he'll take first. 5-pitch walk issued to the senior behind home plate today. Leo Pevnik now up. If Shaker Heights could get the victory here, that'd be a big-time deal. Big-time GCCW. We'll see if they can get it, though. Been swept by Menor, swept by Brunswick, swept by Medina. They need a win here to get momentum back. And this one left by Leo Pevnik for ball 1. Pevnik 0 for 2. As we said, he reached on error. With that error, he was able to bring in 2. So both RBI are under his name. And now he shows bunt. And this time an effective bunt will get the throw on the first. It'll be there, as Braden White will work his way up to second. Finally, what a rare happening. We get an effective bunt out of the Red Raiders. Pevnik did his service, and now he'll jog on back to the Red Raider dugout. Runner in scoring position here for Shaker Heights as Malachi Kranz, the senior, will be today's third baseman. Hasn't had a whole lot of plays out there to the left side of the infield, or I suppose deep to the left of the infield. Aaron Neiman has had a decent amount of chance. But yeah, Kranz, not as much. Here with the sacrifice bunt, Braden White takes his lead off of second. Man in scoring position, RBI chance here for Kranz. First pitch fouled back into the cage, and Kranz is 0 for 2 to begin his day. Went down swinging the first time up, later grounded out. These are the moments he lives for. We'll see if he can get something out of this AB. Braden White, as you can see, just behind the infield umpire, taking that lead once again. Payne checks the runner, now delivers the throw, and oh! Tough call to Malachi Kranz. That was not the right call, as that was far inside, but the umpire rules it as strike 2. He finds himself in an 0-2 spot once again. That has not been called by the home plate umpire at all. But this time he'll draw that one up. This one's going to be up high. Easy take for Kranz, as that one was just about eye level as it went over the plate. 2-1, Shaker Heights in the lead here in the bottom of the 6th. Only one out, but Braden White is aboard. Now a 1-2 count to Malachi Kranz. Up behind him would be Eli Stolfus, assuming he gets that chance. Here's the pitch. Malachi Kranz swings and misses for strike 3. He'll go down swinging now twice throughout the game. His first time up and this last time up. So now Eli Stolfus works his way to an RBI opportunity. 2 down. Stressful situation here for the junior. He's 0 for 2 to begin things as well. No strikeouts, however. Shaker Heights as a whole has struck out 5 times. Once from Coxon, Silver, and Howard, but twice from Kranz. Here's the pitch. Stolfus sends this one fouled over to the right side. That will escape out of play. Eli Stolfus, as we saw in the first inning, he's just happy to make that grab out there past the white line in foul territory, but this time they will not make the grab because, well, there's no point in it. At least the Mustangs won't. Eli Stolfus will give it his all. Here Stolfus awaits the pitch, and he'll swing on this one and line it out into right center. That one's going to get down, and it'll score Braden White as he rounds third. Eli Stolfus bolting his way to second. He'll be in with a stand-up RBI double to extend that lead back to 2. It's 3-1 your score. Let's go, Braden. So now with the double, he's back in scoring position. He just swapped with Braden White and added a run up to the board, and Jeremy Silver, the sophomore, now digs in. He's 0 for 2 with a K. We could use a good clutch hit out of Silver here. It'd be the biggest lead of the ball game. This pitch up high, Eckert jumping to his feet to make the grab. And Stolfus returns to second, but now takes that lead once again. Shaker Heights with the victory here would be huge. And right now they continue to creep closer. Here's the pitch. Jeremy Silver sends this one out to left. That's going to drop as well. Back-to-back 2-out RBI doubles. And Eli Stolfus is there. Here, the throw will bring Jeremy Silver in safely to second. Big-time hits out of the Red Raiders, and they extend the lead to the biggest lead of the ball game. It's 4-1. And now, once again, the Strongsville head coach going to make an argument to the home plate umpire. Now here, Isaac Lazar thought he was coming back up as he did earlier, but it's actually going to be O'Shea Howard coming back as he re-entered earlier. Mustangs coach making some sort of argument. The umpire isn't going to exactly have it be. And now here, O'Shea Howard 0 for 2 with a called, or excuse me, 0 for 1, as it was Isaac as well in that 9 spot in the order. So O'Shea Howard 0 for 1 with strikeout after he took a called strike 3, a rough call it was, but regardless, O'Shea Howard with a hit here can extend this lead up to 4. Here in the bottom of the 6th, Payne with another pitch. This one down low. Stolfus thinking about it, but he'll stay put out of the second. Or excuse me, Silver stays put out at second. Stolfus came around, no problem. He started with an RBI double, and then he came in on another RBI double from Silver. Howard trying to replicate the success, but it's a 2-0 spot. And this one down low once again. Silver thought about it, stays put once again. This one just skipped away from Eckert, but he'll stay back. O'Shea Howard to a 3-0 spot. You can imagine he'll take all the way. Silver with the lead off of second. Payne gathers, checks over to second, and now delivers. That's just catching along the word mark Shaker on the Red Raiders jersey. 3-1. Two down here with back-to-back 2-out hits. The Red Raiders extended their lead to, as we said, the biggest lead of the ball game at 3. O'Shea Howard takes this one up high and takes the 5-pitch walk. He'll be aboard at first. Jeremy Silver remains put at second as we'll get a mound visit here for the Mustangs. And perhaps a pitching change. We'll see. Doesn't look like we will. They're just going to go ahead and talk things over. We're going to start in air. 4-1 your score. Shaker Heights in the lead. 2 men aboard with 2 away in the bottom of the 6th. Back to the top of the order we go in the form of Casey Robinson, 1 for 1 with 2 walks and a run to his name. Here's the first pitch to him, is fouled back into the caging. 2 down, 2 runners on. O'Shea Howard aboard at first, working his way back to second now after the foul is Jeremy Silver, but now he'll get set to take that lead once more. Robinson with the very first run of the ball game for Shaker Heights. Michael Coxon followed suit behind him to build that 2-0 lead that would remain intact until the 6th inning. This fouled back into the caging again. 0-2 hold now to Robinson, who we can imagine will be taking the mound again when we come back for the top of the 7th. Casey Robinson to 88 pitches, only 30 of them being balls, 58 of them going as strikes. Only 1 earned run, the only run for Strongsville, going against Robinson. So Robinson already entering into today with a 2.6 ERA. If he's able to keep the Mustangs to 1 run, well, that'll get even a little bit better. 1-2 here to Robinson. The check to Silver at second. Now here's the pitch. Outside, rings him up. Bad call out of the home plate umpire. I mean, that's just something that he has not called whatsoever. He's called it pretty tight along the sides, but there you go. Strike 3 on Casey Robinson. But Shaker Heights with a couple of clutch hits out here in the bottom of the 6th brings the Red Raider lead up to 3. It's 4-1. Shaker Heights on top, and Casey Robinson coming back out to the mound when we come back to try and close things out against the GCC rival Strongsville Mustangs. As we said, 4-1 your score. We'll be back for the top of the 7th. Vaughn Ullum on your call. Casey Robinson looking for the complete game win now as Shaker Heights has built a 3-run lead. This one skied out in the left field. Jeremy Silver calls off everybody just to get some maybe Coach Brownie points. But there you go. There's out number 1. Strongsville down to their final 2 outs with 3 runs to make up. Looks like Shaker might split the series now. Shout out to the good luck charm Buckeye here today. Now 4-0 as a whole for the Red Raiders. This one lined right in to Eli Stolfus, trying to make the throw on to first. Tried to get the out from the outfield, but LePage will be safe over there at first. But yeah, Buckeye, our good old puppy, back in here today. Right now working with a 3-0 record for baseball. If they get the win here today, it'd go to 4-0 if we're including the softball team. He's been there once for a softball broadcast. Done rather well. And if Shaker Heights is able to close this one out, it'll be great. Pinch runner aboard for the Mustangs. Trying to get some speed along the base paths. And here's miss, got him fishing outside. Beauty of a pitch out of number 5. In the next offering, this one grounded over to the right side. Handling it here is Lewis. The flip, is that going to be out? No, they rule it safe over there at first, so that'll bring the tying run up to the plate here for the Mustangs. Hope is not lost for Strongsville. The home squad still looking to sweep them here in the GCC rivalry series between the Raiders and the Mustangs. Barton extends his lead off of first. Good hitting out of him. Pinch runner extends his lead off of second. Here's the first pitch of the new AB. This one lined down in the left. That's just going to curl foul. And could have been dangerous that time with a good piece of contact. Casey Robinson to 93 pitches now. Trying to settle it down, as we've said. Can't let these last couple of runners reaching amount to anything. Kicking the pitch from Robinson. This one grounded over just past Robinson's glove. Neiman gonna make the grab, and the running throw on the first will pull Lewis off the bag, and the bases go loaded with 1 away. Keep in mind, Shaker Heights with a 3-run lead. We're now going to get head coach Stephen English coming out to the mound. We'll see if Robinson will stay. But right now, the Red Raiders once again being out hit 6-5. And it looks like they will stay put. Though Eli Stolfus came into the infield thinking relief guy, and granted he would be a relief guy, but it looks like he'll turn around and make his way back out into right. But he'll take another look back and turn right back around. He'll remain put out in right field, though if things get really out of hand for Robinson, you can imagine he would come in. Bases are loaded. 1 out here. Go-ahead run for the Mustangs up in the left-handed batter's box. Tying run is aboard on first in the form of Thabata. Robinson checks Thabata over at first and delivers the pitch that's down low. Pinch runner for LePage is aboard over at third. It's Barton off of second, and as we said, Thabata off of first. Here's the next offering. He went around 100%, strike 1. On Becker is 0 for 3. Here today, Jake Becker, a left-handed hitter against a left-handed pitcher. That's to the advantage. This one fouled back into the caging. It'll work its way back. You know, our Basset Hound Buckeye trying to go ahead and get it, but unfortunately just unable to get through the cage. 1 ball, 2 strikes coming here for Robinson on what would be pitch number 98. Here it is. And this one just down low, evened it up, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Go, Shaker!
Shaker Heights still up in the lead. They're up by 3. Things getting a little tense, however, here at the Shaker Heights High School baseball field. Casey Robinson trying to shut him down. Here it comes. This one grounded right back up the middle. Howard unable to make the grab. That's going to score 1. Here the throw home to Braden White. Not going to be in time. It'll score 2. And still only 1 out with now a runner on first and second. Go ahead run aboard at first. Tying run on second. And now it looks like we might get pitching. As now it's only a 1-run lead for the Red Raiders. We'll be right back with you as Eli Stolfus comes in from right field as he'll be handed the rock here. Casey Robinson has done well here today, but he'll jog off to the Red Raider dugout with the lead still. Don't get it twisted. Shaker Heights up 4-3 when we come back with 1 out. But both tying and go-ahead runs are aboard for the Mustangs. Eli Stolfus for the Red Raiders now coming in for Shaker Heights baseball, trying to close out a victory, but right now brought in a tense situation as now the tying and go ahead for the Strongsville Mustangs. Shaker Heights trying to keep this series split. Well, now it's a good thing they got those insurance runs back in the bottom half of the 6th. If they hadn't, the Mustangs would have already been in the lead. Though Shaker Heights' defense might have taken a different approach. Here, Brady Eckert here will wait as Eli Stolfus has the pickoff throw to Thabata over at second. Thabata set to take his lead off of second. Becker following suit off of first. For 3 on the day. Eli Stolfus yet to deliver his first pitch, but here the righty will deal. That's going to catch. Eli Stolfus right now enters in with an ERA of 2.7. Has pitched the second most out of any Red Raider pitchers, and this one fouled back into the caging. He's pitched 23. That's earns him second most innings pitched of the Shaker Heights squad, just behind Casey Robinson. So we're seeing the 2 best pitchers, at least so far on the season for Shaker, get their appearance up against the Mustangs. That's how you know that this is a big GCC rivalry game that the head coach, Stephen Inglis, really, really wants to win. And everyone here, of course, if you're red, they're thinking the same thing. Here, the pickoff throw on a second will escape out in the shallow center, but staying put will beat the bottom. 0-2 hole for Eckert, though it's feeling like a longer AB. With a couple of pickoff throws already from Stolfus, but Stolfus now checks over at second. He'll do a double take. Now we'll get the kick in the pitch as that one runs in, got him. Here, head coach Stephen English making an argument of his own. Thought he might have leaned into it. And now they're going to maybe appeal on the infield umpire. And they're indeed going to talk this one over as assistant coach Joe Welsh has asked for it. And this would be a big-time call. This is a long discussion. Had him in an 0-2 spot, ran in, got him, but did he lean in? The two men of blue uniform. Just to the left, our left, of the mound of dirt in which Eli Stolfus anxiously awaits the call. And indeed, they let this be. Bases will be loaded with only one out on the Strongsville Mustangs. Now it's pressure time, but it's also clutch time for the new bat in the form of Kuwar, today's designated hitter for Strongsville. Bases loaded, one away. Shaker only up by one. Eli Stolfus with a kick in the offering. And this one's skied up. That'll escape out into right field, making the grab there. And the throw home is way over the head of Braden White. And this one is tied. 4-4 now. As the sacrifice fly into right will bring in Thabata from third. Thank goodness for those insurance runs. Go-ahead run is Becker over at third. Eli Stolfus working in a save situation, has now lost that save. Here's the pitch. And this one popped up. Kranz overran it. The throw on the first is not in time. A defensive mistake from Kranz. He overran it at third. And in the top of the seventh, the Mustangs take the lead. It's 5-4. And that is not Stolfus' fault. To extend that lead, there's Eckert over at third. Stolfus needs to take a deep breath, and he will and deliver. We'll get a late call from home plate umpire. 5-4 now, your score. Strongsville winning out here with a 4-run seventh inning. We're going to need some big-time offense in the bottom of the seventh. Lot of pressure here for the Shaker Red Raiders here. Braden White will not make the throw on the second, seeing as Eckert would have made his way home. Some defensive mistakes once again out of the Red Raiders, and this one is once again going to get Strongsville back into a leading spot. Here's Eli Stolfus, a kick and a pitch. As this one's grounded over the head of O'Shea Howard. It's going to score one at least. It's going to score two. The throw in is not in time. Unbelievable. And the Mustangs come back of the GCC. I mean, that's 6 runs here in the top of the seventh. And Shaker Heights once again defensive mistakes. It's been the name of the game. Mm-mm. 7-4. The Mustangs lead. 2 away with a runner on first. And here the throw on the first. And they got him on the pickoff throw. Well, it doesn't feel as momentous as Shaker would have liked, because now they have to make up a 3-run deficit as they are down in this one. We'll see what the Red Raiders can do when we come back. Here for the bottom of the 7th. They didn't want it to be this way, but luckily for the Red Raiders, due up would be Michael Coxon, Aaron Neiman, and Braden White. We'll see if they can build a comeback of their own. And in the blink of an eye, the Red Raiders need to turn to their offense in a big-time clutch offense situation where due up here for Shaker Heights, it's Michael Coxon, Aaron Neiman, and Braden White. 3 of the guys that you would want up in this spot, but 3 runs to make up with only 3 outs to do it. Granted, for the other side, they had it worse. 3 runs to make up with only 2 outs to do it, and they ended up getting 6 scratched across. This first pitch to Michael Coxon in tight. World strike 1. Michael Coxon here today is 1 for 3 with a run, but also a strikeout. This pitch outside taken to even it up. Aaron Neiman taking the swings in the on-deck circle. They're relying on back-to-back sophomores early in the inning. Here in the bottom of the 7th, Shaker down 7-4. Here's the pitch. Michael Coxon foul tips this back into the glove of Eckert. Glinski, your new pitcher. Right now working with an ERA of 1.2 through 14 and a third innings pitched for the Mustangs. This one taken up high. Coxon thought about it, but didn't go around. Glinski right now working with a win-loss of 1-0. Excuse me, I had it wrong. ERA of .9. Here's that pitch. Michael Coxon fouls this back into the cage, and he's fighting this one away. 2-2. We'll do it again. But yeah, Glinski right now with 8 walks and 5 hit by pitch. to 12 strikeouts as his ratio. He's allowed only 2 earned runs, but 6 in total off of 9 hits. That next one held off. Close take by Michael Cox, and even getting the leadoff guy aboard is a big-time deal for Shaker. As now it's full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to the sophomore. Here's the pitch. And this one skied up. Out in the shallow right field, first baseman called off. Second baseman makes the grab. Hartman is there. So as we saw for Strongsville, same situation. 2 outs, 3 runs to make up. Galinsky with 7 pitches in that last AB. He'll deliver his 8th here to Neiman. First pitch taken just barely up high on Aaron Neiman. Shaker Heights right now in another losing position. This one, it's tapped up off the glove of the pitcher. It's scooped up, however, by the shortstop, and they rule him out over at first. Beauty of a defensive play out of the Mustangs. 1 out remaining. Braden White to try and keep this alive. And that right there shows you the benefit of good defensive effort. Braden White now digging in to the right-handed batter's box. He's the man to try and keep this alive. He's 1 for 2 on the day with a walk as well. Here's the pitch. That's up high on him. Well, Shaker Heights once again shooting themselves in the foot with too many defensive errors when it mattered most. Here's that pitch. Braden White with a swing and a miss. 1-1, even count. 2 down. Strongsville with a remarkable comeback with insurance runs. They're in the top of the 7th. They were down 4-1. They're in the top of the 7th. They left it up 7-4. Here's the pitch. Braden White foul tips this one back. Shaker down their final strike. And what looks to be another loss. Braden White, 1-2 count. Galinsky to go for the save. Shaker Heights down by 3. Here's the pitch. Ooh, that one taken, I suppose. Tough take. But Braden White makes it happen. Keeps this going. Evened it up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Braden White, power guy, working with the best average on the team, entering into today at 404. Here's the pitch. And a swing and a miss from Braden White. And this game is over. And with that one, we unfortunately turn you back around to us. Shaker Heights today and on Monday will lose by the way of defensive error. 15 runs being scored against them, 3 being earned. Defensive errors, the name of the game, in which Shaker Heights continues to shoot themselves in the foot. And it's gotten to that point where for coaches, for players, and for us even, it's just become an aggravating point for Shaker Heights baseball, where they just cannot seem to get it going. Even when they had that moment right there for you, when they had that 3-run lead, they end up losing it by 3 in the very end, just due to their own mistakes. And Shaker Heights here today will lose 7-4, dropping the series, being swept once again by a GCC rival, the Strongsville Mustangs. They go 0-2 against now the Mustangs, the Blue Devils, the Cardinals, and the Bees. And Shaker Heights will drop to 5-13 on the season. Thank you very much for tuning in. Vaughn Ullum with you here for the call. We will see you on Friday. Shaker Heights to play Kenston tomorrow. We will not be able to call it. So Friday we will see you.